No, thank you. All right, guys. So you already know it's Monday. Every Monday we get on here on 8 o'clock Mountain Standard Time and we talk crypto, right? And guys, if you have been trading or been on the charts or even been on the scalper, then you know that crypto is still acting a fool, right? It's been faking us out. It's been doing its own thing. It has no rhyme or reason to behind it. Like it's crazy. I was telling Timo today that, or yesterday, I was telling him, and I share with you guys these thoughts because I want you guys to understand that if this is how I'm feeling, and I've been trading for a while, then I could just imagine how you guys would feel. You know what I'm saying? So what I was telling him was that I was seriously doubting my skills. Like I would set up a trade, and then let's say it would go that direction for a little bit and then it would fake me out, and I'm like, do I even deserve to be the crypto queen? Like I was so uh like just tested this past few days. And shout out to Daniel because he met up with us at the corner bakery. We were all there and we were like looking at all possible scenarios. Now that the Mercury retrograde is over, for those of you guys that don't know, that actually has a lot to do with what's going on with price. Like it affects price so much because, I mean, obviously it's affecting people, right? The way that Picasso describes it is that, you know, it affects the water so much, right? But there's so much water inside us as humans, and so it's going to affect us. It's going to affect our emotions. It's going to affect everything. And so if you go back and you like Google Mercury retrograde, right? And it's going to give you the dates. Go back in the chart and look at what crypto did during that time. I guarantee you guys are going to see like, holy shit, like there's so much, I call it fuckery, right? There's just so much, for lack of better word, I apologize for cussing, but like that's what I call it, because there's just so much up and down. Like you get a great setup, like a fib, you get a low and you get a high, and it's like a beautiful, like low to high, right? And you set your sweet spot up. You even mark your, 786, 886, your supply and demand zone. Like you mark everything up, and then it does it and it goes up, and then shoo, it just like fakes you out. And it kept doing that over and over again, but like on all time frames. So it was so bad. And now that it's over, right, that we could get back to I guess price playing out how it's supposed to play out. Even then, like it still had been affected. Like this past weekend it was crazy because again we see one thing and we're like all everything confirmations is pointing to this, and it just ends up doing the opposite. And so yeah guys, like I was just so tested this past week, and I was just seriously doubting my skills and doubting everything, but it served as such a great learning experience because you're forced to see things that you're not used to seeing. You know what I'm saying? You're forced to, first of all, I feel like the hardest thing, and you guys, I'm actually going to, I usually just like make the chat so nobody um, can chat, but I'm going to open up the chat just because of that one time, guys. And I'd rather be safe than sorry, but I opened up the chat and I want you guys to, let me know, but would you guys agree that the hardest thing to do as a trader is not trade? Can you guys relate? Like, can you guys agree with me? Because when you're on the chart and you just like want to trade. And honestly, you guys, I think that is probably why so many people have such a hard time with our trading comp plan, because they cannot just take the two trades and stop it there. I had a really serious talk with Daniel about it because I was just like, you gotta stop. You gotta stop. Like, that's why it's so important to have a separate account, because then that way on your trading, on your comp plan, you take your two trades, you're done for the day. Guys, 2 to 4 trades. If you're an experienced trader and you want to take like 4 to 5 trades a day, like if you're good, like if you can stack those trades safely and get in on a good trade and take it with proper risk management safely, and you guys can secure those 500 pips for all of the trades, then why not? You guys already know that I'm risky, I'm ballsy as shit, and I'll take like 4 or 5 trades at the same time, right? And so I'll go ahead and I'll let those all clear, but the minute that they clear, exit out. Like, okay, this account is over, I'm on the other one, right? Like I was telling also one of our guys, I was like, yo, you want to blow an account, blow your account. Don't blow your comp plan, because that's the comp plan that's going to make you believe. Like that's what's going to teach you the discipline, the proper risk management, it's just going to teach you to be like, that's how you're going to get to the next level, is by following through with your comp plan, right? But but if you still want to trade, if you still feel the need to trade, open a demo, right? Trade on your demo, or open up another account and trade on that. But you guys have to stop. And one of the things, and again, you guys can let me know in the chat, but, or actually I have some homework for you guys. I have so many people that they get discouraged when they come to trading, and we talk about this all the time, guys. I swear to God, we every Monday we talk about this, but so many people get discouraged when it comes to their trading. And I ask them, I'm like, okay, well, you entered the trade, right? Because a lot of people enter Picasso's trades, they enter them, and Picasso will post on, or Nick's trades, right? They'll enter any of the trades that are given out in our app, and it says in the app, we are 200, pips in profit, or 100 pips in profit. Move your safety net to entry for a risk-free trade. But so many people don't do that. So many people do not move their safety net, even if it's in a trade that you guys are taking. Like, I get it. Like, you want to, like, the way that people think, and the only reason why I understand this is because, trust me, you guys, I've been there. I say everything from experience, because this is the thoughts, and you guys can, let me know in the chat if you think I'm wrong. But the thought process is if I move my safety net up and it comes back down and it stops me out, and then it's going to shoot back up, it's going to go to the moon. And what if I miss that move, and I'm going to miss my entry, because I'm entered all the way. Like, let's say you guys got in right now at 30,000 and it's at 34, right? Hold on one second, you guys. So like let's say that happened to you guys, right? And so you guys are thinking that, and so you will not move your safety net. And then what happens is price comes down and it hits the spot where your safety net would have been, and then it keeps going down and it keeps going down. And I'll show you guys a great example of it, what happened like in price this weekend, because I was telling Timo, I was getting stopped out because I was getting my safety net hit. Every single time that I was entering a trade, my safety net was getting hit. My safety net was getting hit, but I was getting hit. I was getting stopped out in profit, in the blue. $5, $10, $20, $2, $1. Like, that is how much I was getting, but I was making money. Like, I was still in profit. I went up $80 in my account getting stopped out. None of my TPs hit. All of my safety nets got touched, right? And so you start thinking about how many times you guys took a trade and didn't move your safety net, because you guys had that thought process. Bitcoin moves up and down so fast. What if it like wicks me out and then it goes to the moon? Like, what if I'm just going to leave it where it's at? And then it ends up stopping you out 200 and whatever pips negative, as opposed to getting stopped out in 100 or 200 pips in profit. And so again, I go into mindset. I go over into switching the way that you look at things, because getting stopped out, like it hitting your safety net, is not a bad thing. It is a great thing, because now your balance is higher and you have an opportunity to enter again, right? Because if it hits your safety net, what does that mean? That means that it's pulling back, right? And it may not pull back all the way to where you entered it in the beginning, but maybe it's giving you that little pullback where you can still enter safely, right? And instead of like waiting for it to go up on those like long ass candles, right? And people always make the mistake of, we're like, oh my God, it's going to the moon, I'm gonna buy. And then they buy and they don't even look at the time, right? They don't even look that it's like 2 minutes before the candle closure. They don't even like wait for that, right? And so then they get in and then it starts like coming back down, either to like, that's when the pullback is happening or whatnot. And so they're getting stopped out. And so homework that you guys are going to do is, I want you guys to go back to all of your trades. I want you guys to go back. Hopefully you guys are writing them down, right? But if you're not, then just go back to wherever you mark them up, whether it be on your trading view or even on your phone, like in your MetaTrader. But I want you guys to go back, even on your Swipecoin, the scanner. I want you guys to go back, and I want you guys to see where, like, if you guys would have put your, like, either taken the TP at 200 or 500 pips, or moved your safety net to like where you would have just at least gotten 100 to, like, how many of those trades would you have won? The ones that you lost. Like any trade that is red, I want you to go back and I want you to see if you guys would have just taken the 500 pips, or if you guys would have just moved your safety net, like how many of those would you guys have actually won? And the only reason why I say this is because I have one of my guys who, he said, man, I went back and I looked at every single trade that I took, and if I would have just taken the 500 pips, every single one of those trades would have been in profit. But instead, not only did he not take the 500 pips, but he also didn't move his safety net, and so he got stopped out negative instead. And so I want you guys to understand that those little things could be the make it or break it in your trading careers. Like, do you understand that one can only take red for so long? Trust me, before you're like, F this, I'm done, right? Like you can only take so much negative, so much lessons before you're like, F this, I'm gonna go get a job, because it's easier for me to clock in and clock out for an hourly rate, as opposed to, having the discipline to really, really close out your trades. And so I say that because, again, this weekend, I was like, holy, I don't deserve to be called a crypto queen. Like, all of my trades are going bad. But then when I look at all of my trades on my history, it's like blue, 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 right? It may only be blue like $1, but blue $10, blue $5. And you got to understand, like, that's great, you guys, but I'm used to like blue in the 4 figures. All right. I'm used to blue, like literally 4 figures a day. Like, I cannot, sometimes even 5 figures. So when I don't see that, I'm just like, what am I doing? My life is over. Like, I start feeling like that. So I wanted to really explain that to you guys, or at least bring it to light, because I know that there's a lot of you guys that are thinking that. And then there's a lot of you guys, again, that may not be entering the trade patiently and safely, as opposed to, because there's so many people that they'll, especially with the scalper, because the scalper, guys, even though we've had Mercury retrograde, and even though Bitcoin has been, a moody little bee, right? We have had some amazing trades with the Swipecoin scalper. So I don't know why, like, there's some people that they just don't use it, right? But if there's some people that they are using it, but they may be getting stopped out, or they may not be getting those trades because they're not patiently waiting, or because they're entering at a wrong time. And so we're going to go over the scalper again today. We go over it every week, you guys, and I don't mind, trust me. We're going to go over that. We're going to go over price itself. We're going to go over what we feel like, or what at least what my boy Charlie and I think is going to happen with Bitcoin. But I really wanted to, again, go over just the mentality behind trading, because that is the one thing I promise you guys. I promise you that is the one thing. Your mindset is what's going to take you to the next level in trading. Your mindset is it's what's going to take you to like blue to instead of red, and I say that because you have to shift that mindset over in order for you guys to take your ego out of trading, because it's your ego that is telling you not to move your safety net. It is your ego and your pride that is telling you, no, don't move it. We're going to catch this move. And a lot of times, like, that move, you just want to catch it because it looks great. and you want to be able to post it, and you want to be able to be like, I caught this, you know what I mean? And it's so I get it, guys. Trust me, I get it. We've all been there, but you have to understand that that's the difference. Like, you have to understand that it is your mindset that is going to take you to that next level. There's no room for your ego, for your pride, and for emotions in trading. Those three things cannot exist when you're trading. Like, you got to be completely robotic. Like, okay, this is logic. This is, your technical analysis. Like, this is what you have to see it. And the way that you handle your winnings, like your profits, any trade that you win, the same way that you handle your win, that's the same way that you have to celebrate your lessons, because it is because of that lesson that you should not be doing it again. I don't care. I could tell you here until I'm blue in the face, keep moving your safety net, keep moving your safety net. And I can go with you guys one by one. There's 16 people on this call, right? I can go one by one and ask you if you move your safety net, and you're going to be like, and then you're going to ask me a question like, recently, or like all of my trades, because I know for a fact that you guys don't move your safety net. Like, there's some of you guys that still do not move your safety net. And that is the reason why you guys are getting stopped out, right? So it's okay. It's okay. Like, the thing that you have to understand is that every single person that is like me, I'm here, I'm talking to you guys, right? Any person that you see on the platform, on the educational platform, they've all been through it. Every single one of them have all been there. You guys have to understand that the hardest thing in trading, it is not learning how to trade, because it is simple, you guys, but it is your mind. It is getting in that you're working for yourself, entrepreneurship type mentality, where you got to be disciplined. You got to create your own system. You have to tell yourself when to stop. Does that make sense? And that is the hardest thing. And so when you guys understand that, and you guys can tackle that first, and then, dive deep into the technical analysis, into everything else, you guys will understand that it's going to take your trading to the next level. Okay. So with that being said, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. We're going to go over the Swipecoin scalper first, because even though, like I say, even though that, hold on one second, even though, like I was telling you guys about Mercury retrograde, like, even though we've had just horrible like ups and downs in trading, our scalper has called out some great moves. And this is where you guys have to pay attention, because if you look, and I'm going to show you guys, okay? So if you guys look here, let's actually go in. No, yeah, it's the 4 hour. So if you guys look here, this is the 4 hour, and I apologize for like all of the markings on my chart, but I already told you guys I ain't deleting anything anymore. But like, you guys can see here, right? So it started around right here. Okay. So you guys have from, let's actually mark it, right? So let's say May, I think it's like around here, right? To like the 22nd of June. So you're looking at, let's say around there. Okay. You guys have to understand like all of that, like those ups and downs. And if you go into like the 15-minute chart, and if you guys look at it, like there is just so much like, oh, like you guys, it's, I can't stand it. You know what I mean? And so when we were trading, why isn't my thing moving? There we go. Like, you guys have to understand that all of this, like the ups and downs, like even though you guys can see that there were some trades that they were caught there, it would just fake us out right away. Every time that we had something that was going on, it just kept on faking us out. And this is where we were like, okay, something's wrong. Like, you can see it here better on the daily. This is actually better. You guys can see here, like all of this up and down, like you guys can see that it would set up perfectly for it to go in the direction for a buy. Like, oh my God, this is the breakout. And then it would come back down. And then it would just like stay in the daily candles. It's harder to see because it's literally just that one candle. But if you go to like the 4 hour, the 1 hour, like you just see so much consolidation. And it was just so much up and down. And so there wasn't really anything. And you guys know that I'm notorious for ping ponging. Like I am notorious for throwing fibs and trying to catch a trade anywhere that I can, right? And I couldn't. Like there was some trades that I could catch, yes, but again, I kept on getting stopped out because Bitcoin was going up and down so fast. And when you guys are looking at it, it's just I was just like, oh my God, I can't trade anything. Like that's how I was feeling, right? But then you have the scalper, and you have the scalper that is calling out. Like obviously it's seeing all of this movement, and you guys can see here with the buys and the sells, the buys and the sells. But like when you guys get a sell and you guys catch these moves, like those are the moves that can get you 200, 300, 500 pips, 1,000 pips. Like those are the moves that you guys can take advantage of. And my phone, for some reason, it just doesn't alert me when there's a new arrow that's being called out. It doesn't alert me if there's a new trade. Like I have to fix the notifications, maybe uninstall the app and install it again. So I have a little bit of a disadvantage because I'm not constantly looking at it, nor do I get notified with it. But I do look. I'm constantly like opening up the app and I'm checking to see if there's a new arrow or if there's a new trade, because I want to see what it is that our educators are letting us know. But like in this case, you guys, you can go back, test everything, every single one of these arrows. Now, they make it easy for us now because let's say on this buy, you know that they always tell us which area it needs to buy, like where it needs to break and close in order for it to be a valid buy, right? Well, if you're going to back test, you have to find that area yourself, which is just finding out where was the last support. So if you want to see where price is going, you have to see where price has been. If you're looking at a red arrow, that's a sell. So you're looking for the previous support. And you guys can see here that this was the previous support, right? And then it hit up and it wouldn't go past that zone. So we need price to break past that zone. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put a line here. Let's make it a little thicker. Okay. So we're going to put a line right here. So price needed to break and close that area in order for it to be a valid sell. Okay. Now you guys can see here that this candle, it broke and it closed. You guys could have safely entered a sell at this candle right here. And you guys could have caught at least, let's see. Guys, this is over 1,000 pips. You're looking at 1,500 pips. Let's say you trail your safety net. So you're looking at 1350, right? And then you guys have zero drawdown because it didn't even go up. So even if you would have had a 200 pip safety net, like you guys can see that price never went back up. Okay. That is what I'm talking about. You guys being patient. Okay. Sometimes when people see an arrow, and guys, when I say people, sometimes people is me. All right. Sometimes because I will mark up my chart, and you guys already know that sometimes I am in a buy or in a sell before they, how do you call it? Before I get an arrow from the Swipecoin scalper. So when that happens, I use the arrows as confirmation, right? And so sometimes I'm like, yeah, it's going to go. And so sometimes I will prematurely enter a trade because I'm already in it and I'm using that as confirmation. And then price ends up going the opposite direction, right? So this is where when you're waiting for the candle, it is going to be the safest entry. Okay. This is why the educators are giving you the area of where it needs to break and close. Okay, because you are catching the move already with momentum. That means that it already broke past your previous support and now it's going to go down in that direction. Now, is it going to go down 200, 300, 1,000, 2,000 pips? We don't know. And this is where you guys can either do a safe TP at 200 pips or 500 pips or trail your safety net. The minute that you guys get down at least 500 pips in profit, you move that safety net to about right here, right? Like you move it at least 100 pips in profit, right? Or 200 pips in profit. And then the minute that it goes lower, keep moving it, keep moving it. And sometimes price is moving so fast, you guys, like this is a 15-minute candle, okay? So you have to understand that price went fast in that 15-minute candle, okay? And then it came up right? And so then this is where you had some consolidation, but then it slowly was moving down. So if you guys would have just safely moved it above and then just kind of let it go and then just kept moving it down, then you guys would have gotten stopped out, but it stopped out in profit. Like, you guys have to understand that being stopped out is okay. I just want you guys to get that. If there's anything that you're going to get from trading this, or from today, or from just from all of my sessions, is that getting stopped out, having your safety net get hit is okay, because it's profit, you guys. I don't understand, and this is me, I was trying to understand myself, because I couldn't understand how the hell I kept on getting mad because I was getting stopped out. And I'm like, okay, you entered, right? You started with X amount, right? And then you entered this trade, you're up X amount of dollars. Yes, your TP is, 1,000 pips more up, but you got stopped out at 800 pips and you're upset. And like, that logic to me, I was just like, okay, why am I upset? Like, you have to understand that you can't get upset. We have to change that. That's the one thing that you have to change, because that feeling of missing out on those pips, or that feeling of like disappointment because you got stopped out, is what's going to mess your trading up. Because at that moment that you feel disappointed, you will get back in. Oh, I got stopped out, I'm going to get back in, right? And like, let's say you would have gotten like here, like, oh, I hit my safety net, I'm going to get back in, it still got momentum to the downside. Look at this, you guys. Boom. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, that is what's going to mess you up. So you have to be okay with getting stopped out. So these trades that were given out by the scalper, okay, you guys, they were given out in a time where people like me, that we're used to trading fibs and we're used to just seeing the market have some sort of structure, there was none, right? And maybe there was just none for me, right? But I'm just letting you know what I didn't trade. Like, I was trading, but I was trading safely and very, very, like, with my safety net tight, because I wanted to make sure that I was going to get stopped out, but in profit, right? And so this is where you guys have to understand a 200, 500, all of those certain amount of pips are going to be okay. And then there's always a chance to re-enter, because check this out, guys. Once this happened, price started going up, and then boom, you had a buy, right? And so this buy would have been good for a good, I don't even know where they would have put the break and close, to be honest, on this one, maybe up here. So maybe it wouldn't have been that great of a trade to take. But again, you wait a while and then boom, you have another sell, like they called another one. So then we have to look to see where price has been. So maybe up here, I don't know if they would have called it way down here, but look at this, you guys, that trade went down, right? So there was another chance for you guys to, again, enter this safely, right? Even on this one, if you guys would have gotten in here, look at this. Let's move this. Oops, not that one. Let's move this over here. So, oops. Okay, let's just do another one, guys. Sorry. So even if you guys would have entered here, because they called it way up here, obviously you waited for that break and close. But look at this, guys. This is the trade that actually kept going down. And I was in this sell, I remember, because I took profit and then I kept seeing it go down and I was like, shit. Like, maybe I could have just wrote it down. See, I still feel like that too, because I got stopped out. The minute it started going back up, and then it shot back down, went up, and then it came back down. Do you see what I'm saying? And so again, look at the drawdown, you guys. If you guys would have just gone in safely, patiently, you guys would have had zero drawdown. And so these are the moves that you guys have to see. That's is that right? Is that 3,000 pips? Yep, 3,000 pips, you guys. That's crazy. And that was, again, given during a time where there was like no structure. And I have so many people that they're always like, I wish I would have caught, or I wish I would have known to take in a sell. When price dips, they're like, I wish I could have just known to catch the dip. The scanner is telling you guys, when to catch the dip. It may not be telling you at the very top, but it is still telling you with momentum safely where to enter to catch pips, you guys. And again, those 3,000 pips, if you guys would have caught it all the way down, great. If you would have gotten stopped out, even if you guys would have gotten stopped out a little bit right here, that's still 1,700 pips, right? So again, don't be disappointed. Don't be upset. Don't get discouraged for what you didn't get. Does that make sense? Like, don't get mad for the pips that weren't caught. Be excited, be proud that you caught 1,700 pips, that you were able to get the notification, enter safely in a dipping market, right? When other people would have just been blind, you guys knew exactly when to jump in safely, right? And no matter what, this trade, the minute that it would have gone down 500 pips, you would have trailed your safety net. And then again and again and again, guys, that trade is one of those where you could sleep, you can go out, you can do this, you can do, because it doesn't matter whether it goes to hit your TP or whether it goes the opposite direction, you guys are in profit. Like, it's one of those trades that really, really defines like the trading career of like the freedom. Like, you want freedom and you can just like set it and forget it. The true set it and forget it isn't until your safety net is in profit. Okay, so when people tell you, oh, the DCX, we have copy paste profit, you know, you just set it and forget it. No, no, no. Like, you got to still look at the market. You got to still look at your trade. You have to still see what the educator is telling you. But the minute that your safety net is in profit, that's when you can set it and forget it. That's when you can truly fall asleep. Because you guys all remember the story. I fell asleep and I blew an account literally, like it went to negative 147, right? The minute that you guys have your safety net in profit, go to sleep, go out, do whatever, you can ignore it. And that's when you're going to get it good. That's when everything is going to be like, okay, this is great. You know what I mean? That is when you guys are going to feel like traders. That's when you guys are going to get that empowering feeling like, damn it, I need to do this more, right? So that's why trailing your safety net is a good thing, you guys. Like, don't see it as a bad thing. We call it a safety net for a reason, because it is protecting you. It is protecting your account. It is protecting your money that you guys deposited to fund these accounts, okay? So again, this scanner, you guys, is giving you safe entries. Here's another one. Okay, this buy wasn't a good one, you guys. You guys can see here, they probably would have told you either here or here. So that was nothing, right? Too much consolidation in that area. But this sell, they would have told you, and let's move this down here. So they would have told you guys to wait until price breaks and close right here. Now, do you guys see why? Look at this. This is a support. You have a wick, you have these candles, and you have another wick. So 3 times it touched this area. Okay. So when you guys break past that, you have to break and close. That candle broke and closed. The next candle all the way down. You guys would have taken your short position, right? Put it right there, which was damn near at the line, right? But then look at how many pips you guys could have caught on that trade. Okay. You guys could have caught 1,700 pips, 1,740. Okay. And again, with zero drawdown. Like, this is where you guys have to understand that entering patiently and safely. Look at this, you guys. You see this big candle? Look at above it. Like, there's no wick, there's no nothing, which means that when you entered it, there was literally the candle did not go back up. Okay, all the way down. So when people ask me like, yeah, is 200 a pip safety net, like, is it a good thing? Yeah, it is. Because trust me, you guys, the minute that you guys start sacrificing more pips in your safety net because you guys are getting stopped out, that's the minute that you guys really start hating trading, honestly. Because then you're looking at a 500 pip safety net just to catch what, 200-300 pips? Like, it doesn't make sense. Why would you guys do that? So when I tell you guys that I keep my safety net at 200 to 300 pips, sometimes I will do 400 if I'm trading. Like, if it's a scalper trade, hell no, 200. right? But if I'm just trading on my like trading view, if I'm just marking up, then there's times where I will do a 400 pip, safety net, because my account can handle it. And depending on how, crazy Bitcoin is at the time. But I want you guys to be safe. And I don't want you guys to take any lessons more than what you should. Does that make sense? Like, that is enough. If you follow, and guys, those are just scalper rules. Wait until price breaks and close below this area for you to confirm the sell, right? You enter there. Not all the time does this happen where that first candle, 15 minute candle, and you can catch a good, let's see how many pips, a good 900 pips. That doesn't happen often, obviously, you guys know that, but sometimes it does. And there it is. And then you guys can, if you would have trailed your safety net, you see that price did come back up a little bit more. You could have gotten stopped out, but hey, you guys got stopped out at 800 pips, 700 pips. That was a good trade. That was a win. That's 700, 800 pips more than what you guys had in your previous account, right? Your balance just grew. And again, it was a safe trade. You guys didn't have to worry about these ups and downs, this craziness, all of this ups and downs, ups and downs. You guys didn't have to worry about it. You guys didn't even have to think about the crazy like retrograde, because this scanner is literally giving you the trades. It's giving you the trades of when to enter and when to safely get in. Okay. So that is what you guys have to understand. It's the safety of the trades. Now, you guys can see this buy right here. Now, it would have been, this is where they would have told you for price to break and close right here, because that was the previous resistance. Like you guys can see it came up, but then it went straight down. So it would have needed to break past that one in order for you to have a valid trade. Now, you guys can see here, it went up and then it came back down. It went up and then it came back down. Like it kept retesting this area. So if you guys would have gotten in, let's say at this one candle, you guys can see here that this one, you would have gone in, still it would have been a good amount of pips, but do you see the ups and downs in that one little trade? Now, I feel that a lot of times you guys will start seeing that candle come down. And if you're not trailing your safety net, you're going to get scared, right? But like this very first candle went up for a good 600 pips. So even if you guys would have trailed your safety net, you guys could have gotten, or just put your 500 pip TP and boom, you would have taken it there, because that next candle came all the way back down, damn near to where you're going to enter it, right? So, and then the next candle did the same thing. And then it kept doing that until this one where it actually retested this zone and then it shot up. Okay. Now, I don't know if you guys are on the scanner or if you guys look at it as much as I do, but I have the scanner open all the time, right? And so I do look at all of this, because when it retested this area, I knew that that could have been another possibility for a buy, right? And so this is where you could have gone in, even if it came back to this area, you could have gone in and caught a few more, like 1,000 pip maybe. Let's see, what is it? Yeah, but almost 2,000 pips. And then do you see all of this ugliness? This is ugly, you guys, just up and down, that there's nothing to do there. And then you have this little fake out, okay, it's going to the moon side, and then it starts coming back down, right? That is what I'm telling you, like that we've been dealing with for the past few days. So guys, it's not cute, okay? And then you have this buy, finally, you have some movement. It would have been right here at this area. So this right here. So this one broke and closed, but then you can see here, went up, came back down almost to retest that area. And then obviously you guys could have caught a good buy there. Now this sell, you guys, this sell was a beautiful one. That's where it would have needed to break and close. It broke, it closed, but then it came back to retest the area, which you guys already know that price will do that. That's one of the things that I've always told you when you're working with the scanner. Price will more than likely retest that area. If it doesn't, and you get a second candle bearish, like you get a red candle and you see the momentum, then enter that trade, right? But if you guys see that it is retesting it, it's going up, wait for it to retest and see. I don't care if it's 4 or 5 candles, wait. And then wait for price to break and close, wait for another full candle to be bearish, in this case, because it's a sell, and then go ahead and enter the trade. So even if you guys would have taken the time and patience to wait for it to come back, retest, and then again break and close, and then wait for that one candle, look at this, you guys. This price came all the way down here. Again, another 3,600 pips. Okay. So, and again, patiently waiting, you guys could have put in your 200 pip safety net. Look at you guys. There's like maybe very minimal drawdown. You see how there's a little itty bitty wick on that one candle right there? You see it? So yeah, I mean, that's nothing, you guys. This is all during the time where I'm telling you, people like me were like, well, shit. And you guys can tell that there was no trades being called out in the app. Why? Why wasn't Nick Gomez calling out trades? Why wasn't Picasso calling out trades? Like, you guys have to understand, because there wasn't anything solid that we could have taken. And this scanner, on the other hand, is giving out these arrows left and right for possible trades that you guys can take. Now, maybe they weren't like this, right? We're so used to getting an arrow and then getting the break and close and then seeing like nothing but down movement, right? But you see here, we have some ups and downs. So it's like slowly going up and down, all the way down. And so when you guys are seeing that movement, like, that's something that we wouldn't have called. Like, I would not have taken that trade because there's no confirmation for me other than the scanner to take that trade. And this is where, during this time, we caught so many pips, you guys, so many pips. There's so many people that they ate during this time. They just took advantage of this dip. If not because they were trading on their own, but because they took advantage of this scanner. Okay, this scanner, I say it all the time, it is gold. If you guys just learn this scanner and safely and patiently enter the trade, then your safety net doesn't have to be big, and you guys can get away with finishing your compounding plan, right? And taking trades on top of your other trades. Now, when you guys are, because I know a lot of people, that whole shifting from the compounding mentality, like 500 pips and dip, 500 pips and dip, trail your safety net, like shifting from that mentality over to like, I'm going to catch as much pips as possible, right? Like, that is a very big shift, and not a lot of people can make it like this. Okay. So when you guys are entering these trades, enter them on both. Like, enter and put your TP in the ones that for your compounding plan, 500 pips, and that's it. Don't look back. Don't think, well, what if this is going to the moon? What if this is the one? What if this is the trade that's going to make me a millionaire? No, you guys, don't think that on that particular plan, like on that account. Go and switch over to the other one, and on that one, you guys can think that. Like, if you guys were to enter this trade, let's say you're going to take 3 trades or 4 trades for your compounding plan. So you're entering one at 1 cent, one at 2 cents, one at 3 cents, and one at 4 cents, all of them with the same TP, right? Then they all clear. You're done. You're done. You enter another one, with a lot size that is like you guys can handle, right? Don't get all crazy. And then just trail your safety net. Like, if you're okay with all of this, then trail your safety net, right? And then just wait and go ahead and write it all the way down. And that is where you guys have to see, like, the minute that they called out this buy, like, that would have been, okay, I'm just going to take profit, right? And then they call that a sell immediately. So that is where our mind will mess with us, because you'll start thinking like, I should have just left my sell open. I would have just been in continuation. But guys, in this case, on your trading compounding plan, right, you left off at 4, right? So then now your next trades are 5 cents, 6 cents, 7 cents, and 8 cents, right? So you have structure, and those trades, 500 pips, you caught them, that's over with, right? But on the other hand, your other account, like, this is where you can start thinking those things. And again, I tell you from experience, where your mind will start messing with you and you're going to be like, oh, I could have just left it open. Like this stupid scanner, it called a buy, it didn't even go up. And now it called a sell again. I could have just caught all those pips and like caught those 3,000, right? But instead, what you need to think is like, hell yeah, I secured the bag. I added $200 to my account, right? Let's just say you went up $200. So now on this sell, just drop a higher lot size, right? Like now you can afford to drop a higher lot size and then just catch the pips that you can catch there, and that's it. Safely, right? Safely and patiently, and you guys are going to walk away with the bag. Like you guys will walk away with minimal drawdown, and you guys can walk away with secured profits because you guys are getting in safely, patiently, and trailing your safety net. Okay, so guys, this scanner, again, you see that was a good sell. If you guys would have taken it, right here is where the support, the last support was. Okay, so you would have broken and closed, so it would have been that candle. You would have taken the trade here. Guys, even from here to here, that was a good 900 pips, right? You guys probably would have gotten stopped out maybe somewhere around 800 if you would have trailed your safety net with enough, I guess, space. And then that's it. Then you wait it out. Again, the hardest thing for a trader to do is to not trade. So this is where you guys get out like, oh, I'm going to take a trade. I'm going to take the trade. And sometimes you force the trades because you get an arrow and you're like, oh, it's a buy. And this is where you will start prematurely entering a trade, because you already got so used to all of these trades and you're on a roll and you're like, hell yeah, I got all these, I already secured, 10 trades on my trading comp plan. I just need 10 more to go and I'm done with that first block. And over here, you're like, I've successfully closed all this. I've caught this much. I've increased my account to this. So then they call an arrow and you're like, okay, it's going to be a buy. All of the trades that the scalper's been calling have been hit. So I'm just going to go ahead and take the buy now. And that way I catch it at the lowest, because they probably called it over here. This resistance was probably right there, right? And look, it didn't even go up. It like actually went back down. So this is a little bit consolidation. And it wasn't until this buy that you guys were able to catch some pips, right? Then we went into some more consolidation. Then again, this buy, where would they have called this one? I think on this one, they called it, maybe, I don't even know, to be honest, but that was a good one. You guys can see here, they called out this buy an hour ago, right? Actually, let me refresh it and see if we have anything new, since we have a little, nope. Okay. So guys, they called out this buy an hour ago, and you guys can see that it needs to break and close this area. Okay. So the reason why, it's because if you want to see where price is going, you have to see where price has been. Look to the left. Do you see this resistance up here? Like price has come up, didn't break past that. It came up, it's still there, it came up, it didn't break past that. So that area is getting stronger and stronger, which is 35,000, right? So it is not breaking past that zone. So we have to wait for it to break and close. And guys, this is why it's important for you guys to wait for that break and close and the confirmation, because you're breaking past an important area. And I used this example last Monday, and I do apologize, you guys. I haven't uploaded that video onto my YouTube. For those of you guys that have asked me, I will upload them today back to back. I apologize. But my partner, the way that he was describing it was that it's a ceiling, right? And then you have somebody that hits it, right? And so they hit it right here and nothing happened. And then let's say it came back, they hit it again. So it got weaker, right? Then it hit again, it got weaker. So now the next time it needs to hit and break and then go. So that's how he was describing it. So this area is a very important area because it needs to break that area in order for it to keep going up, right? So when we tell you guys not to prematurely enter a trade, that is the reason why. That is the reason, because if this ceiling is stronger than all of the hits it's taking, then all it's going to do is it could start the downward motion, and it could start retesting a previous area that we want to keep the support, right? So you guys have to understand that when there are calls on the scalper, it is important for the break and close, like for you guys to wait because of that, okay? Because those are the things that we're waiting for it to happen, for them to happen. I hope that that's a good example, and I hope that you guys can understand now why it's important. Same with the cells, right? Like if you guys would have taken these cells, like they called this cell, this is where they probably would have put the line of support that it needed to break past, okay? Right here, okay? Now, oops, you guys can see here why, right? So they called out this cell. I mean, obviously there was a different area for that one, but this one, this was the area. So it would have needed to break past it. Do you guys see how it keeps rejecting off that area? Now, if you guys want to take it one step further, look at that whole area. Look, this is the resistance and this is the support. We have been ping-ponging in this zone, right? For Lord knows how much. Count the time, right? Do one of the time thingies to see how much time has passed. But that is where we've been playing in this zone. So now it's either going to break the ceiling or break the floor. And which direction is it going to go? So for those of you guys asking like, well, when is the next breakout? This is where it's going to be determined. Which one is going to break? Which one's weaker, the ceiling or the floor? So this is where you're going to look out. That's what you're going to look out for. Okay. And of course, this is just a 15-minute chart, you guys, but that's what the scalper's for. We're scalping it. We're getting in, getting out with the bag, right? But this is what I wanted to show you guys, because again, during a time where all of cryptos, not just Bitcoin, you guys, Ethereum, XRP, all of the cryptos, they're just going crazy because of Mercury retrograde and people being emotional, pulling out, buying this, doing that. And there's just so much going on. So there was no rhyme or reason behind like anything that was going on. And so this scalper is a tool that you guys all have access to be able to safely take some trades during these times. Now, we may not have been able to catch a lot of trades. Again, the hardest thing for a trader to do is to not trade. But the trades that were good, oh my God, they were good. You saw that one, 3,000 pips, 1,700 pips. I think it was one for 1,000 pips. Like you guys are in the thousands with the pips. So you guys are seeing that these moves, they work. I mean, there's a reason why we reported 177,000 pips caught in the month of May off of the scanner. Those are legit trades that confirmed either buy or sell that were taken for those amount of pips. Okay. So for those of you guys that may not catch Picasso's trades when he gives them out, or maybe have not seen a lot of success with Picasso's trades because you haven't yet learned to read what he says and be patient and wait for those moves, or for those of you guys who haven't been able to take advantage of Nick Gomez's trades on XRP or Ethereum, guys, this scanner is something that you guys can all learn. You guys can all jump in on right now, whether you're brand new, whether it's your first day or whether you've been in for 4 years, it doesn't matter. This scanner is something that you can eat off of. For sometimes when I'm like, I don't want to like look at the chart, I don't want anything, but maybe I just want to trade, because again, the hardest thing for a trader to do is not trade. I'll look at the scanner. I'll just look at it and see what's going on. But then again, this like, it gets my adrenaline going. It gets that excitement going. So then what do? I go to the chart, I start marking it up, and I start looking at all the time frames so I can see what's going on. So sometimes we're in a funk, you guys. Sometimes we don't feel it. We don't want to trade. We don't want to look at the chart. But this scanner, it just does something. It like you see it and you're just like, damn, I could have caught that. Like, let me look at it. Let me look at it. And so look at those areas, you guys. I hope that explanation or that comparison helps you to understand why it's important to wait for that break and close. Okay. And I hope that this eliminates a lot of your guys' premature entries. I hope that this eliminates a lot of the drawdown that you guys are having. And I hope that you guys can take advantage of this and truly get the wins, because you're now using proper risk management and trailing your safety net, because you can see that, you can just jump in another trade when there's another arrow given, right? So that's the scalper, you guys. Again, I do want to go over, I want to show you guys the chart, like, just because, again, I want to just show you what I see or what I've been seeing. And why isn't it marked up? Hold on. Oh yeah, it is. Okay, good. So guys, let me delete this time frame here. Why isn't it deleting? Dude, why is my chart not? I do not know what is going on with my trading view because it's like freezing on me. Okay, well, anyways, you guys can see here that like that big dip, if you're looking at price, if you guys were on my calls last week, then you guys saw all of these markups. Okay, now this is one of the things, and again, when you have people that you trade with, it's so cool when you guys get together because you guys can see that you'll have the same things marked up. So Daniel, he's on this call. Shout out to Daniel. We were all together at the corner bakery, and we just all looked at our charts together, and we were looking to see what everybody had marked up. And so Daniel and I had this trend line. We had this trend line on the 4-hour, and we were waiting for the break so that way we can take a buy, right? And so you guys can see here that it like respected the trend line until it broke right here, and then it came back, retested the area, and that's when we had that little, well, I mean, I say little because it's on the 4-hour, but if you look at the amount of pips that it went, it's, yeah, like 3,000 pips. Okay, so that is what we're looking at. And again, I've already told you guys that I did not want to delete anything from my page because I wanted you guys to just see what it is that I see, and I leave it on there. Okay, so you guys, if you were on my call last week, then you guys already saw all of this movement. Okay, now, excuse me, this, the minute that it broke right here, you guys can see that it did go into a buy area that I had marked up. Let's go back to the 15-minute now. Oops, I don't know when I moved there. All right, you guys, so here, this was a buy area. You guys can see how different it is on the 15-minute. Okay, so this was a buy area that we had marked up, and it hit the zone, right? So then we had the move up. Now this was a sell, and again, you guys won't know to catch these little sells or to get that surgical with the chart unless you've been trading fibs for a while, and unless you know that the minute that, because this was a low and this was a high, so there could be another buy area, right? But when there was a higher low created, then that's when I knew, okay, so this could be a high to low, like this could be a possible sell area, which it was. You guys can see here, it actually wicked right into the sweet spot. If you guys are brand new, this is your first time on my call, then you guys know that just know that every block that you see, either red or blue, it is a sweet spot from the fib. I'm a fib trader, so I draw a fib either low to high, high to low, and that sweet spot is where I usually take my trades. Okay, so this was a sweet spot for a sell, and you guys can see that it wicked perfectly into that sell. And look at you, that is the sell that everybody was like, oh, I wish I would have caught that. It's the one big move that if we, and I say we because I'm the one that was like, God damn it, I should have just kept the sell open all the way down, right? Because look at that, you guys. If I would have kept the trade open from here, look at how far it would have gone down, guys. So that's a good trade, right? But obviously I got stopped out, my safety net, the minute it started pulling up. But guys, there was another, if you guys would have drawn this high to this low, that's probably a 236, 382 entry right there. And then again, this high to low, that was another sweet spot that you could have safely entered and caught those pips. And then this, I think, is on the hour, if I'm not mistaken. And then again, that was a good little sell. And then there was some lows to highs. So that was a buy area. And then now it just brings us here to this consolidation that you guys see that was on the scalper. Okay, so that's what we were looking at when I tell you guys that when we get together as a group, we get together at the corner bakery. If you're in El Paso and you want to join us, you guys are feel free to join us. Anybody can come and meet up with us. We do it during the day though, so if you have a job, it does get a little difficult, but that's the breakout that we were looking at, you guys, and it's been holding the area, like there's so much resistance between like 36 and 35. So we really need to see a breakout in that area if we expect it to keep going high. Once we break past that zone, we break past that resistance, this is what we expect to happen. And I'm actually going to do it on the hourly just because you guys can see here the other resistance better. Okay, so you guys can see here that it hit this area, came back down, hit this area again, and now it's kind of just playing right under it. Okay, so what we expect to happen is for price to do something like this. Let me find my little thingy here. Okay, so we want price to break past that area, right? Break past it, and then kind of like do something like this, maybe come back, retest it. So now the resistance now becomes support and then shoot up. Okay, so that's what we're waiting for. If it doesn't, and if it just kind of, let's say, touches again, and then it kind of does this again, touches, then it could come back down. So my partner used to always make fun of me because I would say it could go up or it could go down. And he's like, well, no shit, Sherlock, it only moves in 2 directions. But do you guys see now why those areas are so important? Like, you have to wait for that break. Once it breaks past that resistance and the resistance now becomes a support, then that is a strong area, because then now we can move up. But it could do the opposite, and it could just reject off of that area again. That resistance could be strong and it could just go straight back down. And now if it does go down, then it would have to break past the previous support, which is a big support around 30,000. If it breaks past that support, then we'll probably see a bear market. Like, we're just going to see it go down from now to the end of the year. But that's what we're looking at, you guys. That's what we've been waiting for. So all of these ups and downs, like every fake out, oh my God, it's going to break, and then it doesn't. So you guys can understand how I feel when I was like, oh, am I even trading? Am I a trader? Like, I was so emotional because it really tested me and my skills. But again, this is where your mental strength comes in, because you learned it, you know it, and you just have to just roll with it and understand that proper risk management is what's going to get you through times like this, which in my case, it really did. My account went up $80, which is not much compared to what it's used to going up, but it's enough to where I didn't take any lessons. Does that make sense? And so I want you guys to understand, again, proper risk management is the only thing, and your mindset, obviously, right? Getting your mindset to use your proper risk management and to be okay with getting your safety net hit, because that's the only thing that's going to take your trading to the next level, especially in times like this. Okay, so guys, with that being said, let me look at the chat and see what you guys are saying. Safety net, yes. Me 30 minutes ago, Daniel. Do you wait until it hits 4 times? For what? For the breakout? For anything? Are you talking about when it hits the support and the resistance? Like, if I'm waiting for it to hit? You guys, even if it does hit 4 times, I'm telling you, during this time, it was crazy, because this is the 4th hit. It's going to go up, and we're going to take some buys, or we're going to take whatever, sells or buys. It was faking us out. So these are the times where it's, yes, you're looking at that for confirmation, but it didn't matter in this case, because it was hitting 4 times, and then it would go up, and then it would go back down. And guys, when it went down, I'm talking like it went down. Like, there was a time where it was hitting the support and it hit 4 times, and we're like, okay, that's it. Like, this is a strong support. It's going to shoot up. Guys, it went up, and then it shot back down past the support to 29, 28, or like 29,000, like a little bit, maybe 28.9 or something like that. And then it closed above, but it came down. So yes, you're looking at that, but in the cases where like this time, it still doesn't matter. Like, you have to really look at price. Amazing call. Thank you, Yaya. I understand so much more now. Very clear. Thank you so much. That was a prime example of getting stopped out in profit, being okay. I will teleport there. Yes, how I miss you. We miss you. We get together, and you were one of the guys that was always there with us. So hopefully you're doing great over there. If you are in town, let us know. We can get together, just like the old times, trade have some lunch. But guys, with that being said, thank you so much for jumping on this call. I'm glad that you guys got some value from it. If there's anything that you want me to talk about next time, let me know and we'll go ahead and incorporate that into the call. I am gonna upload this video as well as the one from last Monday onto my YouTube. So if you guys missed it, just go ahead and be on the lookout for that. But thank you so much, you guys. I wish you an amazing trading, profitable week. Proper risk management. All right. Bye, guys. We'll see you.